Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So, for all of my guys that are doing the dollar cost averaging, Jesse Livermore had the right idea, okay? In his book, How to Trade Stocks. Now, Livermore was my boy, man. Like, I've got the notes. I've got everything. I was with this book up close and personal, all right? Under the money management section, it says money management probes. You hear me talking about probes all the time. Now, this one's for my guys that want to work out when they should buy Bitcoin or not. How much should they commit? And inside of this, I don't even know if you can see it. If you can you see that bad boy? Yeah? Money management probes. Can you see the percentages? All right? So he's basically put down and said that number, price, day, amount. He split it in 2020, 20, 40. Okay? And this was the amount of shares that he would purchase, because he would be effectively scaling in. Now, Livermore wasn't a day trader as such, but he would hold on to positions and end up seeing some very big moves. Like, they called him the Bear of Wall Street. He was the Great Bear. He was short when 1929 Wall Street crash happened. What a time to be short. Okay? So for anyone that is a Bitcoin holder and wants to work out a way to do it, the only way that you can effectively manage your money is to stick to the 20-20, 20-40 rule. And that's Jesse Livermore. Go check out this book. Like, listen, I'm telling you now, this guy was a beast. Look at his house. What is that? Look at it. When this guy goes fishing, we're not talking about carp. That guy was on that swordfish game. Look at that. Crazy. A day out fishing with Livermore. Man, I wish I was alive that time. I wish I was born. But more pressing issues. Bitcoin. What can we expect from tonight, ladies and gentlemen? GDP comes in stronger. We see the dollar go up, dollar comes down. Euro goes up, euro comes down. The stock market takes a slap to the downside. But we've had quite a few stocks that are up on volume. I guess this is profit taking. And we've got the dreaded unemployment claims tomorrow. In tonight's live, I'm going to break down a little bit of price action. And then it's story time. I've got to tell you about the most awkward time I ever experienced. So if you're going to be sticking around for that story, I'm going to get the price action done. I'm going to get Bitcoin done. And then I'm going to tell you about it, because to this day, it's still quiet. So I'm going to tell you that story, but I'm going to get everything sorted out. So let's get with the flavor, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for passing through to tonight. Let's have a conversation. Oh, yeah, my name's Tino, by the way. Oh, yeah. Hi, my name is Tino. This guy. Anyways, what we got? Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin, in principle, its last area of support, quite frankly. This is it. If a controlled move to the downside stays within the psychological ranges, do I need to say anything about these zones anymore? Why here? Why is Bitcoin holding out in the same zone that it moved away from? Seems like it likes this area here. Okay? And the idea is that we would anticipate the same thing. Yeah? That's where our head is at. Now, when we go into the higher time frame of Bitcoin, we then say to ourselves, all right, then what we got? Well, we've got a sweep to the upside. And there seems to be this trapping behavior up here. And I'm going to say it now. If Bitcoin does not take at least the 39 or even the 40, this move is done. Finished. Ciao, ciao. Dustbin. Taxi. Finished. Because Bitcoin has spent too much time, and inside of this range, it's recovering previous vector candles, and we've still got a little bit more of a vector candle zone for Bitcoin to come and attack. And a lot of people are anticipating that Bitcoin is just going to continue to go from this point. Well, now let's just understand where Bitcoin has moved from, okay? So collectively, from this range at 24,870, Bitcoin is up nearly 54% from this move, okay? That is a big move up, okay? Now, logic would say that we'd be expecting a bit of a retrace. Historically, does Bitcoin do that? Well, yes, it does. You see a big move up, it comes down. A big move up, it pulls back. A big move up, it pulls back. So this is consistent with support. All right, then. So we're good on that. And this is on the daily, okay? Now we've got this big move up, and it's starting to just falter in and around the 5 and 13 EMA. Now, what are we going into, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, in 1 day and 2 hours' time, we have got the good old monthly candle close. The vector candle has been fully recovered on the daily time frame. So that answers anyone's question about, does the vector candle work on higher time frames? Yes, it does. And you know something? If you guys go back into the live streams, and I'm talking ages ago, I'll never forget it. But I know some of the OGs of the pattern watchers will remember me saying this. But it was inside of this area right here when I said that we're talking about the vector candles, and I said, look, we focus on vector candles being recovered all the time. Tell me why the vector candle won't be getting recovered down to this point right here. No one considered that Bitcoin would go back down to 19.5. No one did, okay? None. If this move doesn't pull off, like, I'm serious, if it doesn't happen, and Bitcoin does not consolidate, at least within this range. This is a bigger time frame look. This is Bitcoin's range until the bull run, or at least till the halving. It has to hold this range. 25 and the 39, sorry. It has to stay within this range. All right? It's good for consolidating in this area right here. It's good for consolidating inside of this area right here. We need it to do the same thing just before the bull run itself. That's what we need Bitcoin to do. Okay? Now, this is from a daily time frame perspective. You've got the weekly coming into play where Bitcoin is doing a good job of climbing back up, but you can see in the weeks that there is inconsistencies. There's no clear conviction. Remember when I said to you guys about the vector candles? Where's the market maker? Here. Where's retail trader? Right here. Market maker, he wants to get out of the zone. When he's doing this up and down behavior, that's consistent with him hitting people's stops and wiping people out. Isn't it funny how all the main green vector candles that appear from the lowest point of the range are consistent with market makers? Look, midpoint of the vector candle, recovery, shift out. Midpoint of the vector, well, not so much the midpoint, but it come back into this range right here. I mean, if we take that green vector candle, take the high, take the low, and just look at that for precision right there. Bounces straight off that range. Look at that. Complete reversal to the upside. All right. Now, Bitcoin has this is Bitcoin's last hope. And this is not me saying, getting all fudded out with you all. All right. Just please. I hate that. You know, oh, you're just spreading FUD. Fuck that. I'm not spreading FUD. Bitcoin goes up. Yay. Bitcoin goes down. Oh, what do you want me to do? Bitcoin goes up. Yay. Bitcoin goes down. Yay. Like, well, what is that? You know, price goes up and down. I am never permanently bearish. I'm never permanently bullish. If it's moving up, then we're going to be looking for shorts. If it's going down, we're looking for longs. Remember, Livermore. That's the money management principle right there. Today, I've had myself a very interesting day as well, trading euro. Okay, now we've been put out a projection for euro to come down towards the 109.502, missed it by 8 pips. But I'm expecting that euro is probably most likely going to be rolling over soon. So we're going to be paying close attention to euro. My trading day, the evening session itself, started off with a specific play on euro with this screenshot right here. Let me show you. So I was trading the idea that euro was getting ready to move towards a specific point. Okay, so this was my entry, a euro long entry right here. All right, look at that. So this was my entry on euro inside of this zone. I was anticipating euro to come and clear out into this area right here where there was a little bit of a empty shop. So the market doesn't like that. It needs to go back into this point to level off the books in principle. All right. So we were taking our trade on that principle, and we started off with, where was it? Let me find it. So our entry point was inside of this range. Where are you? Here we go. And we wanted to trade towards this profile. I set this out into the Discord just to let the guys know. And we entered in at the 109.835 zone, and I wanted to see this range right here, okay, which would take it to the 109.955, okay? And then, of course, Euro decides to clear the range and make the move to the upside. So if I have a look at that target value area high here, you can see right here, they came and cleared that range to the upside. Now, I saw a very good move right there, and I was trying to grab a little bit more from it, but then it started to pull back, so I decided to close off the trade, okay? Now, collectively for the day, we did all right, including the session, so we got on our, out of the two funded accounts that you can't see that. The two funded accounts that I've got, let me get the bigger picture, here we go. Of those two funded accounts, we came out with $1,914 profit on that one account, and then $1,966 worth of profit. You can see the fees, how they smack you left, right, and center. And we're looking at our win-loss ratio for the day. 12 trades is what I took on this play right here. And the reason it's counted as 12 trades is because I was scaling into the position, okay? Scaling in. So I opened up one. It was originally 2 contracts. Then I went up to 4. Then I went up to 6 and went up to 8. And then we stopped at the 8. And then on my other account, which was this one right here, the 12, I started off with 25 contracts because I sensed the momentum was coming in, and it was only aimed at a quick play. But the move happened so fast, I managed to exploit that. I quickly closed off the profit. And then I was like, okay, cool, I'm done for the day. So far, so good. We're doing all right for the week. 107 trades so far, okay, in the week. Because I'm scaling in and out, closing one, closing the other. That's why you're seeing a win-loss ratio looks pretty poor when you think about it, okay? Look, a win percentage of 12.5% and a loss ratio of 87% came out with $1,966. Why? Because I took 8 trades, okay? And 7 of them were losing trades because I was closing off profits as it was coming down, getting ready to load up, changed up my size, bang, one trade, it recovers it all and comes back into a profitable trade. So that worked out really well for us. Now, going into tomorrow, we have OPEC and the unemployment claims and the core price index. Now, look, going back into Bitcoin has a lot to hold on to if it's going to hold this range. Now, if we look at the vectors, we can assume that it's going to hold the 50 EMA. You do nothing at this point. That's it. You do nothing. Why? Because on the 1 hour time frame, you've got the 5 and 13 EMA, which are these 2 red and yellow lines. Yellow is the 5 and the 13 EMA is the red. If price, or should I say if the moving averages are heading towards the 50 EMA, you've got lackluster momentum. There's a pause. There's no direction, okay? Now, you can look at all the Bookmap and all of that gag, okay? And you can look at it from that perspective, and volume is actually up 17%. This is very interesting. Volume is up 17%, and the book is imbalanced to minus 18%, meaning that sales are being triggered, okay? Look at the commitment, and this is what's got my attention. This area here with Bitcoin earlier on today had quite a significant amount of liquidity at the top side, but they closed it off. They couldn't get filled, and they instantly rejected that zone. Now we're not seeing that much coming into play. Now the market itself is pretty dead now. It's called dead gap time. There's nothing happening in the marketplace, okay? So you really want to be saying to yourself, well, should I get into a trade? Should I not? No, you shouldn't. All right. And if you're coming to the charts, forcing a trade, purposely wanting to take a trade for the sake of being in a trade, you're going to lose. Simple as. Because if you're sat there wondering why your position isn't working, did you understand why it wasn't working or why it would work in the first instance? No, you're just going for the hope that it's going to work in your favor. So you can't do that. Okay. You can't force trades. There has to be a methodical approach to it. You're trading to one zone to the next. My logical approach on my euro trade was simple. I saw the imbalance right there. I saw there was an issue in the order book. I saw that euro came up above the VWAP. I saw the commitment right here with these deltas and the strong move to the upside. I was in the belief that they're going to continue. But one important thing was this. Let me show you something. Check this out. You see this point of control right here where it says, where it's got the orange and the pink. That's the point of control, which is pink, and the orange is the VWAP, okay? Before euro made this move to the upside, which was this play right here, let me just bring it up for you. Before it made the play to this area right here, the point of control, there it is right there, the daily point of control, it was just stalling. And when you're watching the depth of market, these are the cues that you get. Now, I was looking at the 30-second time frame, and I could continuously see green vector candles coming into play inside of this range between the 109.840 and the 109.830, okay? I kept seeing the green vectors bouncing up and down, and they were holding inside of this specific range. And that range on the hybrid system wasn't shown as the point of control. On the depth of market, it was the point of control, okay? And that's where everyone was transacting the most at. And what you got to look for is you got to try and see how do the buyers and the sellers behave at that point. So every time a sell order came in, right? For example, you can't see it, but it says 24 here and 5 right there. Every time a sell order came into the book, right? Price came down, but then it quickly came back up again, which meant that there was someone keeping price to bid up. They didn't want it lower because inside of this contractual area here, it says 3,761 below the point of control. And then below that, you've got 3,221. And then below that, you've got 3,368. There seems to be these plays happening inside of here. Now, I was trading towards the top end of the move up here. But in order for me to understand that that was going to be the case, I needed to see verification that they were going to move from this point. Why was it every time they sold at that point, they instantly moved it up? That was the tell. They kept pushing it lower. And you guys might understand that to be consolidation inside of a specific range. So, for example, you might see that happening right here with Bitcoin. You'd see it from a candlestick. But from a candlestick, it's kind of hard to really gauge the idea of really what's going on here. That's why the vector candle comes into play, which gives you more confidence in being able to take advantage of a assumed move. The first green vector candle that appears above the 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame, that's a strategy in itself. You put the trust in the vector candle because the vector candle is suggesting that the behavior inside of this area, where is it? The behavior inside of that zone is starting to show more interest to mark price up. That's what that representation is. The vector shows that. There's control inside of this candlestick. They're wanting to mark it higher. Okay? Are we on the same page, ladies and gentlemen? Do I have your attention? Yes, no. Yes, you are, Eleni Nicolau. Okay. Everyone's trying to pull Helen in the chat. Everyone's asking them questions. Go on, Helen. You're waiting for the story. Yeah, I'm gonna reveal the story. Don't worry. Anyway, in the news, look, $1 billion lawsuit. That's crazy. We spoke about it today, but now it's coming out that it's a $1 billion lawsuit over Binance ads. That is sad, man. Good old Ronaldo. Anyways, I was on the Financial Times today, and Charlie's popped up again. This guy survived Hitler's reign. 1924, he was born. First World War, 1914, 1918. Second World War, 1930 to 1933, or 1930 to 35. No, 33 to 35, if I'm correct. But man, he sat through it all. And he said one thing, take a simple idea and take it seriously. That just makes so much sense. That's the hybrid system all day. Trading from one point to the next. You see a green vector candle at the lowest point of the range, it's going to start to move up. If you see a green vector candle at the highest point of the range, after a big move up, it's getting ready to roll down. All right? I'm saying it in hindsight. Go back and look in the charts where I've said this many, many times and it's played out. Okay? Keep it simple. Now, where we at? What else have we got? Some liquidations. Check that onto CoinGlass. See some liquidations on Bitcoin that currently sat at the 38,638. which has $25 million worth of short liquidations. That's maybe a lie. Because if we go onto the heat map, now look, CoinGlass is going to be, what are you doing? CoinGlass is probably using the same API as HighBlock, all right? Get it from Binance, happy days. Now, let's just have a look at what the true, potentially the assumed liquidation points are right here. So what we got. Now, top side at the 38,650, we got $1.7 billion worth of short liquidations. That 25 million's a joke. Above that, 38,750 got 2.2 billion right there. But then we have this problem down here at 36,350, which is very close. Don't get it twisted. This area is very close with Bitcoin's price action and its volatility. All right? Do not make the mistake. These guys in the longs are struggling right now in hope that Bitcoin can actually continue higher. That's why I'm saying that this chart right now, Bitcoin's price action is in a very important zone. Going over into the Coinsoto, we've got an idea right here. The Bitfinex open interest, you can see that it's starting to come down. More shorts are being opened on Ethereum, but it's only a small amount. So I'm very interested in what's going on there. IOTA, look at that, 416% in the open interest. You go over to that coin right now, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be a very interesting story with this bad boy. Here we go. Be very cautious with it, all right? Yes, they've just signed up the deal with Abu Dhabi, but the blue vector candle's appearing at the highest point in the range. Be careful, because Bitcoin, if it starts to roll over, this bad boy will come back down as well. You're telling me early adopters of IOTA ain't going to be taking profit. That is wild. They're going to be running for that liquidity, so please make sure you are taking your time with that bad boy, okay? Going back into it, again, look at the liquidity here. You can see it's still IOTA, man. It's still holding it down. And this is big volume as well. All right. This is huge for an altcoin. 72 million, 69, 67, 65, 61. And there's no stopping. That was from today as well. Like they haven't stopped. All right. Going into Bitcoin and Ethereum's unusual volume, you can see a lot of selling happening with Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bitcoin's had about $389 million worth of shorts closed off or sold. And spots, 21 million sold as well. So it's all futures markets coming into play. But the thing that we got to be mindful of is this. Bond yields fall on signs. Fed is in sweet spot. And what do we mean by sweet spot? Well, the sweet spot is pretty simple. We're going in for a Fed pivot. One more rally to the upside, potentially. Fake out, Fed pivot, everything drops. That's what I'm thinking. Lee, how you doing? So, yo, see Bitcoin Maxi here, dollar cost averaging since 2017, but everyone knows about Bitcoin, so I've been spreading the word on Jesus Coin. God bless you and your family, subs, mods, mad love to you, man, Jesus Coin. Happy days, man, happy days. Is that even a coin, bro? I don't even know if it is, like, Jesus Coin, it genuinely is a coin. Wow. I'm not even going to project on this, sorry. It's only going to go up. My boy Jesus. That's it. It's only going up. It's an embarrassment that this coin is so cheap. How dare they? Anyway, let's go back into Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin going over 100K by January. Ooh, by January. You know? What's this guy talking about? That just don't... What's this guy talking about? Doing Cyprus is Greek. Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to start cussing, bro? I'm ready for you, bruv. I'm ready. You're coming in my chat talking shit. Oh, I'm reading this wrong. Am I? I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back into the charts before I start really getting things wrong. Very wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Charts. Okay, let's just stick to charts. Solana takes a nice little move to the upside, $61 to the gain of that tone. Big vectors pumping price up. Again, coming back into the same spot. Again, look, I just don't like this. And what stinks is it's going to do the move. We're going to see a flush of liquidity. Tomorrow could be the day. If unemployment claims come in tomorrow lower, okay, or let's say the unemployment claims coming higher, that's going to be welcomed by the market. Everything will shoot up. That'll be the perfect time to reverse it and switch. That's the truth, okay? That's what's on my head. Quickly checking in the earnings as well. What have we got going into tomorrow, Thursday? Royal Bank of Canada, the Bank, Toronto Bank, Dell, Marvel. Okay, so we've got a lot of banks declaring profits tomorrow that are listed on the United States Stock Exchange. Dell's going to be a big one for us. If Dell misses, then we're going to probably see a lot of activity in terms of Dell. Now, that is a big, look, a little W formation right there, and they call it a double bottom. Interesting. So $54 billion, well, yeah, $54 billion in market cap. Dell has just not stopped going up. $75, that's just a bloody steal. But look, there's not that much volume. As you can see, it's volume below average. So you've got to be very careful with a stock rising with no volume as such. Even going into this bad boy right here, you've got 343 stocks that are up in volume, 351 stocks that are up in volume, and 151 stocks down in volume, okay? Now, look at the markets today. You have got NASDAQ taken a bit of a tumble to the downside, right? You've got the S&P, a little bit of a tumble to the downside. The Dow Jones, you know? So we've got ourselves a bit of a story happening right here, okay? Lots of volume. So what does that mean? Does that mean that they could be, it's freedom of view. Does that mean that they could be selling into all of this? That's why we got volume high. Right now, guys, the bonds, they're climbing up, okay? Are investors seeking safety, or are they seeking risk? This is what's really interesting. The bonds market, the yields have taken about 9-point drop to the downside. It's going down, and that's good news. But what we need is the yields to balance off. Bonds going up, stock market going up, dollar in principle trying to move up. A very small move. Like, the volatility index, in essence, is up. Like, it's up 1%. Come on, something's not right here. The market does appear like it's topping out, and that is my opinion right there, guys. And if Bitcoin follows everything, then look, the move is happening with zero volume. We've got to be very careful with this. If the NASDAQ can clear above, well, a NASDAQ Composite Index, if that can clear above the 16, okay, with volume, then okay. But down here, look, we are low on volume, and that's a problem. You've got divergences coming into play now. So if you are in profits right now with Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen, and all for the sake of a potential move to the upside for Bitcoin, all right? Don't get fucked up if Bitcoin moves up to 41. You've missed out on a $4,000 move. If you think like that, get out of trading, all right? Get out of investing. Because if you're only looking for a $4,000 move in Bitcoin, Bitcoin's not the asset for you, okay? Bitcoin's about those big boy moves, all right? It's all about the moves from 25 to 38 and, you know, like the 10, 15K moves. That's what we want for Bitcoin. Bitcoin can go up and down $4,000 like no tomorrow. It's an easy move for Bitcoin. You know, people are, oh my God, Bitcoin's up 2%. That's standard for Bitcoin, all right? So keep that in mind. What's going on? Thank you for streaming. No problem. No worries, my friend. No worries. Right, we got some love in here. Oh, he wasn't speaking to him. He wasn't speaking to me. Forgive me. Forgive me. Was he speaking to me? Were you speaking to me? Anyway. Now I'm getting pissed off. Right. Do you want the story? Yes or no? Do we want the story? Do we want the story of the most awkward time? Okay, I'm not interested anyway. Cool. So do we want the story? Yes or no? Type 1 if you want the story. If not, then I will love you and leave you guys be. Do we want that story of the most awkward time on earth? How do you become an expert in trading? It's not about being an expert. Story, yes. Oh, okay, so he wasn't talking to me. Never mind. Yes, you want the story. All right, then. So listen, this story, okay, it is a little bit embarrassing. It's not so much embarrassing, but I don't know if any of you can relate to this story. I'm going to switch it up for you right here so that you can just pay close attention. Now, I'm a bit tired, so yeah, I'm snappy tonight. So check this out. Went over to Cyprus. Now, at the time, I was like one of the lads. Like, I want to get out there and start moving to the twins. Well, Tina, if you know what I mean, not the other section of the twin. Anyways, go to this rave, right? And I'm standing there. I'm wearing the shorts, wearing my vest because it was too hot in there. You know, it's not about dressing up too smart in a nightclub in Cyprus. No, thank you. Anyway, I'm just holding my drink, right? I only drink the drink straight. I ain't mixing it with no Coke, no lemonade, no nothing. It was either whiskey or it was a gin. Finished. That's my top shelf drink besides my coffee. Anyways, I see this woman across the bar. I was like, wow. All right. So I engage. I gave her a look. She gave me a look. She did the thing with the hair. Like, I think she actually moved her hair from her neck because it was hot. Not because she was, like, taken back by me or anything like that. She just literally flicked her hair, and I was like, is that a sign? No? Okay, so we'll keep working the game. So I was like, all right, let me go into the toilet. Let me go find my guy that stands in the toilet and is like, freshen up for the puna. You know that guy with the aftershaves. All right, I was looking at the aftershave, and I was like, have you got anything strong? I want one that smacks. I'm about to do a walk across this woman. I just want to make sure she smells it. And he's like, I give you this. And he starts spraying up some Issey Miyake stuff. And yeah, Caroline Herrera was like, okay, that's practically like having a sweet on your neck. But anyways, so I put that on. I was like, okay, let's go. So I'm walking across towards this bar. I'm trying to like walk slow so that the smell doesn't go because this guy was stingy as fuck with his spray. I gave him like 3-4 euros. I was like, come on, man. Like, I want to smell it, you know? Anyway, so I'm walking now, and I'm like walking slow. I'm getting closer to the bar. The woman turns, and I'm like, yes, this is the moment to do it. I walked, like, I started to speed up walking so that the smell could go to her. Did it work? I don't know. But as I came back, I went back into my spot. She was still looking. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to go and speak to her. Put my drink down. I made my way over to the bar, and we just hit off. Hey, how you doing? And all that stuff. I was standing there, bought her a drink. You know, she brought me a drink as well. You know, like, we keep it fair. Anyway, at the time, I was about 22. Yeah, 22 years of age. And she was 33. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Of course, we were enjoying ourselves, having a laugh and a joke and talking, and then the night starts to wind down. Now, what do you think was going to happen? I wasn't going to take her home and just be like, ciao, ciao, see you later. Nah, bruv. That's what she wanted to do. She was like, should we go back to yours? I was like, what? Really? You're cool with that, yeah? And she's like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. So we get in the taxi. We're having a bit of a laugh as well. We get down to the house, and I was like, "Come on, then let's go. Let's go." She walks into the house. I was like, "There you go. Take your shoes off, darling," and all that. But in Cyprus, you got marble floors, but you know you got to take your shoes off because she was going to be making her way upstairs and what have you. It wasn't about those nightclub feet. Nah, bruv. Like I took my shoes and my socks off. Because it was just rough. Anyway, we get upstairs. We do the how's your father kind of thing. We're enjoying ourselves. You know? It's human. People do this kind of shit. All right? Now, I just met this woman. Okay? The game was pretty tight. You know? £4 or €4 on a bit of aftershave, a little bit of a walk and back, eye contact, gave her the vector, and then chipped. So, The night ended. She gets a call at 6 o'clock in the morning. I think it was her mum or something. And she had to get out. She was like, all right, I've got to go. I was like, yeah, that's cool with me. Like, that's cool. See you later. I was laid back in bed. I was like, that worked really well. Anyways, I get a call from the old bird. Get ready because we're going to a dinner party tonight. Yeah, no worries. No worries. 8 o'clock, you got to be ready. Cool, fine. So go to the beach, do my own thing. I ain't seen this woman. Didn't even hear nothing from her. Zilch. I felt used. I felt violated. Gave her the... Anyway, you know what I gave her. So I'm getting myself ready for this evening meal. Called the old bird and I was like, right, Mum, where are we going? She goes, oh, we're going to some friends. You don't know them, but their daughter's getting engaged. And we're just going to have a little bit of a meal there. I was like, cool, no worries. Anyway, got myself dressed up. Get into the car. Get the directions, to go to this place. I got my mum. I got my sister. And I got my cousin with me, right? Driving now. Pull up to this beautiful house. I was like, nice, okay. I can hear commotion. I'm like, yeah, man. We might get lucky tonight. It seems like there's a lot of people here. I thought, am I going to end this streak? I walk in. Oh, hi, Auntie. Hi, Thea. We call, the aunties Thea in Greek and all that. Walking in saying, hey, hey, hey. What's good? Yeah, we're only here for a couple of weeks. Yeah, how you been? Yeah, I'm staying here. Yeah, do you want to go to the beach tomorrow and all that shit? Yeah, I'll have some of that cake. That's cool. I'll eat some food in a minute. No. Let's go for a smoke. That's what it was like walking into this beautiful house. There's this massive table. Now, I'm a food guy. I like my food. I sit straight down and I start smashing up the food. I'm getting the dashin, getting the darmo salada. I'm dipping in. I'm like, I'm making it my home because the Greek saying is, if you come from a woman, it's your home, Amani says, buyanega, that's it. That's how it is, okay? Anyway, we start hearing this round of applause. Clap, clap, clap. Yeah? Everyone was clapping. I'm like, oh, it's the bride and groom to be. Bruv, it was only her from the night before. She's walking in holding this brother's hand. I don't know the guys or the families. It was just friends of my mother's. I didn't know who these people were. I was just down for the food. Bit of a drink and a smoke. Bruv, she walks in with this guy, happy as Larry. And I was like, oh my days. Not even 10 hours before, bruv. That is rough. I didn't know where to look. I started shaking. I was like, oh, I'm getting hot. Like, shit. I was like, Mum, let's go. She goes, no, we've just arrived. Let me introduce you to them. Fuck. Oh my days. Let me introduce you to them. How do you say in that environment, how do you tell them what's good? Like, and I had to introduce myself. I walked up. I was like, said hello to the guy first. I was like, what's good, bro? How you doing? Yeah, happy days. And this is, I had to play stupid. And this is right. Hey, how you doing? You all right? Wink. I wish you all the best. Good luck. Fuck that, man. I was like, it was a pure act. But my God, I was, man, like, not to be so graphic, but she was enjoying herself as well as I, But she didn't mention anything about no partner, bruv. Like, she was out, and I'm like trying to make sense of the madness. But she was available. She was like cool. But she didn't tell me she had no partner. If she had a partner, I said, fuck that. I'm not going to do that. 10 Commandments and all of that stuff. throughout the rest of the night, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't look at the girl, but I had to at least engage in something. And I was like looking for a moment to go and speak to her because I needed to get it off my chest. There was one instance where I found the opportunity to go and say something to her. Fuck. I walked up to her and I was like, well, you did. This is exactly what I said to her. I was like, you didn't say anything. Before I could say anything, she went, shut the fuck up. I was like, cool. I'm cool with that. So we were on the same page. I was like, how do you deal with that? I would say, ladies and gentlemen, that was the most awkward moment of my life. Sat at the table, man. You know? I'm sat at the table with this guy and his wife-to-be. You know? She wasn't just eating the kebab. She was on vectors only 10 hours before. Like, fuck. To this day, it messes me up. So if I were ever to introduce myself to a woman, be like, are you married? Do you have kids? Are you potentially getting engaged? Are you trying to just have one night fun just before you get married? Because I ain't interested. I don't want that because there's a good chance that I'm going to get invited to a dinner party and you're invited. Be sure to like and subscribe. Peace.